Jean-Thomas, can you share your screen? So Jean-Thomas is presenting Evolve.
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's not in slideshow mode yet, but...
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Okay,
Go
thanks
ahead.
a lot, Pascal.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. So, hello everyone. So Evolve project, it's an ICT 11 project. We have 19 partners, a budget of overall 14 million euro. The project is now reaching, I would say, the termination. So we are 6 months before the termination of the project. So it was quite a journey. Myself, I'm Jean-Thomas from DDN, and I'm the coordinator of this project. So this is the vision of an application in the early 2000s. So it's a picture from the Space Odyssey. So it's 2001. So at that time, an application was seen as a big block of monolithic logic. It's no longer the case, neither in HPC nor in the other ecosystem. So what we have nowadays, when we talk about an application, it's more like a workflow where we have different software components which are interacting between each other. So typically, we could have like a first stage where it's kind of a data curation. So for example, bringing a lot of data, and then we apply some calibration or Gaussian filters or very regular logic in order to curate the data. So typically we need high bandwidth for this, so moving a lot of data. Then the next stage could be, this is just an example, but let's say that the next stage could be more deep learning or image analysis. In such a case, a GPU would be a very good fit. But we could also have a numerical simulation in the loop. Then the better match would be a CPU with double precision floating point, for instance. And then we can have analytics, we can have visualization. So the idea is that in this workflow, each stage may have a very different footprint in terms of hardware pressure. So this is bringing us to a heterogeneous platform. So since there is not a single processing device, which is the best one for all the stages of a workflow, then maybe it's better to have specialized processing unit depending on the workflow, on the workload. Then we will try to map this stage on the right processing unit. So this is a sketchy vision of the Evolve platform. So on the left, the yellow square, there are the processing unit, and on the top left, I've augmented the processing unit, the CPU, with some GPU. At the bottom left, the blue array, there are FPGA. So in Evolve, we have FPGA as well. And at the middle, there is processing unit, and there is also some augmented processing unit on the very left of the screen, where actually it's not additional processing power, it's a local storage. So it means that we are not accelerating the CPU, we are providing additional features to the CPU. So it's a slightly different kind of heterogeneity. So here the idea is to have a local storage, so very fast flash device within the node, so we can access to the data with very low latency. This is bringing me to the second axis of heterogeneity in the platform, is that we have also a storage heterogeneity. Some of these nodes, as I've just mentioned, they have like internal access to local storage, but there is also a fast tier based on flash device. So here we have high bandwidth, low latency, but the capacity is a bit limited because this is kind of costly device. And then we have an extra layer in the storage, which is a parallel file system based on large disk. So we have basically two axes, vertical one for the processing and horizontal one for the storage. So the machine is really heterogeneous, which means that some of the typical usage that we have a system, not usage, but typical problem are now becoming a bit more complex. For instance, resource allocation. It's no longer about allocating this number of CPU for this amount of time. We have also to discuss about the nature of the processing unit and if there is some specific data allocation also issue to address. So heterogeneity is for sure accelerating the platform, but it's bringing also a bit of complexities that we have to handle in the project. This complexity is not only about the hardware, so the infrastructure itself, but there is a lot of software work in the project. And the explanation is displayed on this slide that I've stolen from BDEC. I like it a lot, so I have to make the to cite the author, but I like this slide a lot. So what do we see here is that on the left, on the pink one, this is a big data ecosystem, software stack. On the right side, this is HPC one, the blue one. And we see that they are kind of independent, except at the very bottom, they share the same operating system. So everything is based on Linux, but then the two software stack has evolved completely independently. So what we did in Evolve is that we wrote a bit of software, and not just a bit actually, in order to build connector and bridges between these two stacks. So for instance, now Spark in Evolve is not running on the top of HDFS, so it's not using the big data file system, but it's directly connected to the HPC IME file system. So we keep 100% portability for the application, but then we remove a lot of software layer and we connect directly to the file system. So there is a very nice acceleration here at the cost of a bit of software development for sure. So when I say we built, so there is some physical result out of it. So here you have a picture of what we have at Les Clays. So it's a Atos facility nearby Paris, and they are hosting our hardware for the project. So here you have like a CPU, GPU, FPGA, some storage as well. And this hardware is not just, you know, a showcase. There is some real application running on it. So here, this is a very nice result that we had with an application from our partner Space Hellas. So the application is dedicated to maritime surveillance. So the idea is that based on satellite images from the eastern part of Mediterranean, we can detect the vessel, so the traffic of the boat, and we can assess also if the boat are behaving as expected. And this application at the beginning of the project was 100% in production and working nicely. And 2.5 years later, we have been able to reduce the time to result by a factor of 120. So it has been a very nice improvement based to code refactoring, a new platform, containerization, pardon me. And so at the end, we have a very modern workflow, much faster, and it's much more productive for the end user, notably because we have this nice, almost interactive display of the position of the vessel. So at the end, the customer is very happy with the result. So this application for maritime surveillance is coming from a larger basket of pilot application or use cases, which are here to validate some of the infrastructure, but each of the app has also its own scientific meaning or business meaning. We have one coming from Cybeltech. It's a French startup, and it's to detect the correct growth of the crop using satellite images on the genetic growth model of the plant. We have Thales Alenia Space. They are doing also satellite observation, and they detect the changes on the ground, for instance, suburban expansion and things like that, on this use case from Space Hellas for maritime surveillance. The second set of use case that we have is very important in terms of business. This is related to mobility. So here we have 4 use cases. 3 of them are mobility more at the personal level. So AVL is doing engine predictive maintenance. So based on the sensor in the engine and the model of the engine, we can detect if there is a misbehaving and predict if there is a probability of future failure. So this is very useful to basically to address the problem before it arises. So Kula is for optimize the maintenance of the car. The use case of BMW is for ride-hailing application. So it's kind of a parallel branch and bound application. It's quite interesting. And Tieme and Memex, it's a duo from Italy. So Tieme is a public operator, public transportation operator. So they're operating a fleet of bus in Tuscany. And Memex is a technology consulting company which are helping them to modernize the way that they are managing the fleet. And here the idea is to use big data to improve the service and also to react in real time to hazard that we can have in the management of the bus. So for another use case where we have good results, so for the predictive maintenance for engine, here we have from the beginning of the project up to now, we have improved the time to result by a factor of 50. So it's almost 2 orders of magnitude. It's quite nice. And it means that the application is running much faster, and also there is a gain of productivity and there is some business behind it. So it's not just about the scientific result. There is also a real economical issue, advantage out of it.
1 minute to go.
Thanks, Pascal. So at the end, what can I say? It works. So fortunately, it works because there is a very few time left now. And so it means that we are going faster. So the heterogeneous platform has delivered the expectation. So we are going faster from 1 to 2 orders of magnitude. But also, it's not only about going faster, it's also about increasing the productivity of the end user. Thanks to the containers, thanks to Kubernetes, people can manage in kind of cloud way their application and they still have very good performance. We still have open challenges, and maybe we will address them in a follow-up of this project. And at this stage, I think I have to thank you and keep a bit of time for the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jean-Thomas. So we don't have questions from the public yet, but I have one question for you. What would be the evolution of converged platforms such as Evolve? I mean, you mentioned the next project.
Yes. So more at this stage of the project, so we are quite happy with what we did within the facility. So we are quite good about managing heterogeneity within the data center. But now applications tend to be distributed across multiple data centers and also to go to the edge. And here there is some, this has been overlooked at this version of the project. So we think that in a follow-up version, we should address this interoperability of the heterogeneous platform with the outside world, with multi-cloud on the edge. I think this is one of the open challenges, maybe not only for heterogeneous platform, but for data center as a whole.
Okay, we have one question from the public, from François Courteil from NVIDIA. What is the use of FPGA for those applications?
So for FPGA, we use them for basically there's a lot of satellite images. So we use FPGA in order to clean up the image. So it's really for almost signal processing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure GPU will be good, but let's say that we've observed that FPGA are good also.
Okay. One last question. You briefly showed open source in this context. How open is this community to share and distribute these machine learning frameworks workflows?
Yes, so for the open source, what we did in the project is that we try to hook to mainstream open source projects and to push code upstream. And for instance, we try to push code within MPI. We try to push code in the Linux Foundation. So one of our partners has his code accepted by the Linux Foundation, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the code quality. So it means that you cannot do many things. You have to do a limited number of things, but extremely well if you want to be accepted in the community. That will be my answer to this open source question.
Okay. Let me check the chat. No, we have a discussion around No, yeah. The other comments mention or not
Okay.
about your presentation. Okay.
Mm.
So, well, I think this will be, yeah.